Qatar 2022. My name is Robinson Okenya. For the next 2 hours, we'll be taking a look at what to expect in this weekend's quarterfinals of the World Cup. In studio with me is Cedric Musumba and Rogers Shtemi. The two gentlemen will be helping me break down what is expected in the 4 fixtures that we have for the World Cup. In a bit, we'll be crossing over to Qatar. Moses Wahisi is on standby. He will be giving us the updates on what to expect this evening. Of course, when Argentina takes on Netherlands, and of course Croatia in action against Brazil. We'll be crossing over in a bit. And before we begin our show, it's all about Chachisha Mechi in Qatar. DSTV giving you, an opportunity to enjoy all the football action live on Super Sport. You get to buy a DSTV decoder at 3,999 shillings and get a 1 month free subscription to enjoy all the action from Qatar live. You can also stream on DSTV Kenya. You get to be part of the action on what is going on in the World Cup in Qatar. Now, the quarterfinals after 56 games begins today. I want us to take a look at the teams that are in the quarterfinals and the fixtures that are in the quarterfinals. Of course, Croatia will be taking on Brazil, one of the most awaited game of the day. The other fixture, of course, that we have will see Argentina take on Netherlands. These two gentlemen, the captains for both sides, is going to be very, very interesting at 10 p.m. Tomorrow, 2 more fixtures will be on the cards, and we'll be having Portugal taking on Morocco, the only African country that at the moment is remaining at the World Cup. And of course, the defending champions will be in action. That is France taking on the 3 Lions of England. Those are the 4 fixtures that we have when you talk about the quarterfinals of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. The 8 teams that are left in the competition, going to be very, very interesting to see who progresses to the next round of the competition. These men right here, of course, championing for their teams to move to the next round of the competition. Cedric Musumba, welcome to the show. Rogers Shtemi, welcome to the show. Yes, after 2 days of rest, how are you feeling now?
Yeah, it's not actually a rest as you may put it, because the tournament is still continuing. We are, and again, obliged to continue doing more of research and understanding which are the remaining teams that will be actually playing into the final. And that actually complicates even the quite scenario of us taking a break into this particular event. Rather than taking event, there are other scenarios that and other news that are also popping up. Like we have seen the likes of Enrique actually relinquishing their jobs, and those are the kind of information that we have been following into the world of the soccer arena. And I think moving forward, we will be breaking it down much more further and intensely to make the show so much attractive and also hooked up to our viewers.
Yes, I want Shtemi to begin with Luis Enrique. The Spaniard, of course, parted way with La Roja yesterday, and now De La Fuente has taken over. Did you see this coming?
No, I didn't, because I think after the loss we had that discussion on this show, and Cedric and I had actually tried to say that indeed Enrique need to continue being the La Roja coach for at least like 4 years or so that he can try to bring in the tiki-taka style that Bluesco had tried to introduce between 2010 and I think 2014. But that said and done, I think he felt so embarrassed with that defeat to Morocco. He never saw it coming because they looked so confident heading to that round of 16 match. But football being football, you always get the victims, and I think Morocco has produced many victims in this tournament. It all started off with Martinez throwing in the towel, then Hazard retiring, and now Enrique is the latest victim, and I think maybe we can experience more victims coming the next few days, knowing that indeed Morocco is going to face again Portugal. They can come up with another victim in that game. There's a lot of things happening behind the scene, of course, knowing that Enrique has tried his best to bring some value into this team, but he didn't have the armory, or rather the tools required for him maybe to achieve a lot in this tournament. Because looking at the squad, yeah, they are still a growing squad. Most of the players are still young, and you can't really bank mostly on young players. At least need these experienced players to be in that team to try and guide them, because you remember even their match against Morocco, they lacked like somebody inspiring, somebody who could be there just like a leader. Busquets was there, but he was really silent. We didn't see him maybe trying to take on this game and maybe try to break the barrier that the Moroccan side had created. So I think it is high time now, even though Enrique has gone, but now the Spanish FA need to know that they have lost a very good coach who could have tried at least to change or rather to end their title drought and try to restore their lost glory on the global scene.
Yes, lost glory on the global scene. Remember, since 2010, Spain have not won any game in the knockout stage of the World Cup. Gentlemen, Hansi Flick remains in charge of Germany. That was confirmed yesterday. The Germany FA said that they are not letting him go. He will continue as the head coach. Cedric, what do you have to say?
You see, in a game of soccer, and I think history does not even lie to us, consistency is needed. Philosophy should not be interrupted. You see what Spain has done to Luis Enrique. They have already interrupted the philosophy that Enrique was trying to put in place, and which, and again, will give a quite different angle to this Spain, I think, under-21 coach. That is really coming in to really acclimatize and maybe gel up with the team. Because remember, he will also be coming in with a different style of play, a different style of philosophy that may, and again, affect this playing unit. What they needed to do, and I was borrowing, if this is the trend that the European nations are really taking, then they are bound, actually, many coaches are bound to crash along the way. We're also seeing the Moroccans actually facing the Portugal. Does it mean that if Morocco happens to beat Portugal, then the Santos will be as well as throwing in the towel?
Most likely.
No, I doubt.
That should not. You see, this is a coach who has really stood with this team for a very long period of time. Portugal has not been producing results under his watch, but they have as well perseveringly, relentlessly given him that authority and power to continue really putting together a squad that has really tried as much as it can to put a smile on their face. He has gone ahead, and I think UEFA Nation won with this particular squad. Again, I think Hansi Flick, what Germany has done, and I think is the best nation ever that has, as in football governing body ever, that has really been put in place world over. Reason being, they really have faith in their coaches. We saw what they
Joachim Low stayed for almost 20 years.
That's not the reason, and they don't care. They knew when a coach comes in, he comes in with a philosophy that will really mount to 10, 14 years for them to get result, and sometimes even a decade. And they really persevere and stand with that. And also they understand why is it to gel a team, how is it to build a team. And that's why they insist on young generation of as younger as 17 years old. Remember, a 17-year-old player, to give you result, he might maybe start giving you result at the age of 24 years or even 25. That need a very long period of time and a very well-oiled coach who has a better philosophy to put in place and advance it for you to gain result thereafter.
Yes, let's now cross over to Qatar, where Moses Wahisi is on standby. Good morning, Moses. How are you doing? What's the mood like now that the quarterfinals begin today?